Alright, hello everyone, this is Mr. Crozier. I'm going to go over your homework here. Problem number 1, identify the type of triangle. Well, there's two sides together, so it's isosceles, and it is okay to go ahead and look at it. We will assume they are to scale. It is an acute triangle. Number 2, scalene. None of the sides are equal, and it is okay to look at it. It is to scale. Obtuse. Problem number 3 tells you to draw out a triangle. So there's my triangle. And then we have to identify it, classify it. So we have to find the lengths. Now, to find the lengths, you are given the points here. However, it's easier just to do a right triangle here. And know that it is 1 up, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 this way. So right here, the slope from A to B is up 1 over 5. And the distance would be the square root of 1 squared plus 5 squared. And that should look like the distance formula to you. So we could use the distance formula right here and subtract them, right? 4 minus 3 is 1, and 3 minus negative 2 is 5. But if we have the points, we can go ahead and just make a triangle. So it is 1 squared plus 5 squared is root 26. So from A to B, the distance is root 26 and slope up 1/5. Now what about between B and C? Well, again, I'm going to make this right triangle. And there's 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, I can subtract 3 minus 1 is 2, 4 minus negative 1 is 5, or I can count them. And then the distance is the square root of those squared, and the slope is up 5 over 2. Remember, we always move to the right. So there's my distances, there's my slopes. It is scalene because none of them are equal, and it is not a right triangle because none of these are opposite reciprocals. Number 4, do the same thing. This one's kind of easy for this distance because you can count it here. Thank you. You can count it here, but on here you can't count it, so you have to use Pythagorean theorem. All right, number 5. Find the exterior angle. Well, the picture looks like this. So this one is equal to those two. Same thing on number 6. On number 7, we have two sides missing for the acute triangle. They add up to 90. Number 8, same thing. They add up to 90. Number 9, you have to get these two measurements by reading, and then they equal to 90. Number 10 is simply matching up all the sides and angles. Number 11 is a problem where the corresponding sides are not drawn in the same orientation. So remember what we did? We rotated it so they do match. Number 12, a congruency statement is here. Number 13, it asks if they are congruent. Well, label what you have. We have a side, and angle. We have two sides. The angle is not in between, so it's side, angle, meaning not congruent. Remember, at this point in geometry, this is the only thing we know. Side, angle, side, and we don't have that. Problem 14. Here we do have side, angle, side, so it's a yes. Number 17, we have all of these congruency statements. I'll put the book right here for number 17 so you can see what's going on here. Number 17 says if QP and QR, well, I would go ahead and just draw a little picture of this. Don't write in your book, but draw a little picture of this. And these two are congruent, so therefore these are congruent down here. If these are congruent, the two bottom ones are congruent. And then you can just go ahead and match them up. And remember, you can write P here, but this one you can't write R. You have to write the whole name of it. And do the same thing for all of them. On number 21, you have to do a little bit of logic here. And the logic I did on 21 was to say, look, this is 100, so these bottom two must equal 80, and they're congruent. So since this is 100, these two must be 80, 40, and 40. And then this is a right angle, so 40 and 50. 80, 50 is 130, which leaves 50 for y. And you can do the same logic over here. This is an equal angular triangle, so that means it's also equilateral. 26 is equal to the 5y plus 21, and you can get those measurements there. And then when you come down here, well, if these are all the same, they're all 60. So right here, we could say 8x plus 60 is equal to 180, and we'd be able to solve it. All right, hope this helps with your homework.